Welcome back to another episode of State of the Multiverse. And I didn't want to waste any time talking about what is coming up with Leatherman. They just released a video less than an hour ago from when I am filming this, talking about garage number 5, which you will see some pictures here. There's a lot to talk about with that tool, but also we had our first real look at a confirmation of the Leatherman arc. Now it appears that they are going to release both the Garage Series 5 and the Leatherman arc very close to each other. This is all relating to the 40th anniversary of Leatherman. And honestly, I'm all for everything going on here. We don't know what the final tool set will be for the Leatherman arc just yet. And in fact, it appears that they've made some changes to the smaller implements on the Garage Series 5 that we might see in the Leatherman arc as well. As far as I can tell, major improvements on the design, at least in my opinion. So let's go through it, starting with the Garage Series 5, which is going to be based on the Leatherman free platform. It's going to be like a free P4, but they have changed some major things, starting with the blade, which is going to be Cerakoted in sort of a bronze color with Magnacut blade steel. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know how I feel about Magnacut. It is a magical steel. It has toughness, it has corrosion resistance, it has a good edge retention, and it's actually not that bad to sharpen either. So it's kind of like the perfect steel, much better than the S30V that they've been having in their premium knives. And I think more than those other variants, like the titanium TTI, I think this justifies the price much better. So if things follow, the likelihood is that this will probably still stick around the $200 price point for the Garage Series 5. If you can get your chance to buy one, do so. And just look at the aftermarket prices for any of the Leatherman Garage Series tools, especially the first one. It's good price. In fact, my guess is you're not going to get in unless you're within the first 10 minutes of the release. Usually that's noon Eastern Standard Time or 9 a.m. Pacific Time is when they have been posting them. They've been pretty consistent about that, but we do not yet know the release date for Garage Series 5. Now, the Leatherman arc. We saw a couple things in that very short, like 2-second clip of the 40th anniversary promotional video. And one thing that did stand out to me is that it actually has USA written on the blade. I was actually surprised by this because tools like the Surge and the Wave, they don't have USA written on them. And I think in large part because the plier head and the bit holders were made overseas. And it increased the percentage of overseas part by enough that they couldn't put that USA mark legally on there. When they released the free P4 and the free P2, you see the USA stamp on there, something that they don't emphasize enough, but is pretty awesome that they were able to do that. They have it back on there, which means something has shifted. They may have a new supplier for bit holders or plier heads, who knows? But the fact that we're seeing USA written on there is really, really cool. And we'll probably see it also stamped on the plier head. Now, speaking of plier heads, the Garage Series 5 is showed to have spring-loaded pliers. Not everyone likes them. I actually kind of do. And as far as the free series are concerned, it goes really well with this ultra convenient package where everything is one-handed. It kind of just even more so goes with that platform. I also found it very interesting that in the Garage 5 video that they just posted, they mentioned that the back end of the free series tool is considered a hammer. When it was originally released, they did not mention that. Maybe because they were concerned that the mechanism could not withstand enough force and kind of keep it from being destroyed. But my experience has been that it is essentially a hammering end. It actually has enough bulk. There's enough there that as long as you're using your hands and not like attaching it to some sort of handle, you should be able to use it to persuade things into place. I like where they're going. As I've said many times, the biggest problem with Leatherman is that they've given up on a lot of free marketing. This would have been a perfect opportunity a couple months ago to come to Blade Show Atlanta and showcase a Magnacut Multitool. They would have generated so much hype and people would have been so ready to buy it. Because keeping in mind that the least expensive Magnacut folding knife that I can think of right now is about $135. So $189, which is the spoiled price we saw for the Leatherman Arc. I don't know if that's actually going to be the price, but that's the one that accidentally got spoiled. Is a very good deal for a USA made knife that is going to have crazy edge retention, a really complete tool set, potentially spring-loaded pliers, one-handed usefulness, comes with a pocket clip. Who knows what else it'll come with. It is also my hope that they will consider including a bit kit with it, which would make a lot of sense. But if you do end up buying one, and I'm just preempting all of this, make sure that you add some spare bits to your order because you're going to have to pay shipping otherwise, and you don't want to do that. And it's only $5 to add 3 spare Phillips flathead bits. Okay, so that's everything that is going on right now. Pretty exciting stuff. I don't know. It's nice seeing Leatherman do anything because it's been a couple of years since new releases, and this is kind of making a big splash. I think the knife community is actually going to start getting in the act because for a while they talked down Leatherman because of the blade steels. They're going to have a hard time doing that now. Anyway, as always, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.